Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen is one of the foundational texts of modern democracy and a landmark in the history of human rights. Adopted by the French National Assembly on August 26, 1789, during the French Revolution, the Declaration sought to establish a framework for a new society based on the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. This 1,200-word analysis explores its historical context, content, significance, and lasting legacy. Historical context. The Declaration emerged at a time of immense political, social, and economic upheaval in France. By the late 18th century, the French monarchy under King Louis XVI was deeply unpopular due to economic mismanagement, heavy taxation, and widespread social inequality. The rigid social structure of the Ancien regime divided society into three estates: the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. The first two estates enjoyed privileges, while the third bore the brunt of taxation and had little political representation. The French Revolution began in 1789, with the Estates Generals convening to address France's financial crisis. The representatives of the Third Estate soon did themselves the National Assembly, marking the start of a movement to challenge the monarchy and establish a more equitable society. Inspired by Enlightenment ideals in the American Revolution, the National Assembly sought to enshrine universal rights as a foundation for the new French state. Content and key principle. The Declaration consists of a preamble and 17 articles that outline the natural, inalienable, and sacred rights of individuals. It reflects Enlightenment philosophy, drawing heavily on the works of thinkers like John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu. Key principles include: 1. Equality. The Declaration asserts that all men are born free and equal in rights, Article 1. This challenged the feudal privileges of the clergy and nobility, advocating for a meritocratic society. 2. Liberty, defined as the freedom to do anything that does not harm others, Article 4. Liberty is a central tenet. The Declaration emphasizes the importance of individual freedoms, including freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. 3. Property, recognized as an inviolable and sacred right, Article 17. The Declaration protects private property, reflecting the influence of bourgeois interests. 4. Popular sovereignty. Political authority derives from the nation as a whole, Article 3. This principle rejects absolute monarchy and asserts that government should serve the collective will. Number 5. Rule of law. Laws must be the expression of the general will and apply equally to all citizens, Article 6. Arbitrary rule is explicitly condemned. 6. Justice and accountability. Articles 7 and 9 ensure protection against arbitrary arrest and affirm the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, laying the groundwork for modern legal systems. 7. Separation of powers. Echoing Montesquieu's ideas, the Declaration calls for checks and balances to prevent the abuse of power. Drafting and adoption. The drafting process of the Declaration was led by Marquis de Lafayette, with input from other revolutionaries, including Jean-Joseph Mounier and Emmanuel Joseph Sieyès. Lafayette, inspired by his experience in the American Revolution and his relationship with figures like George Washington, aimed to combine the ideals of liberty with the structure of a constitutional government. The Declaration was adopted during the early phase of the French Revolution, before the monarchy was abolished and the Reign of Terror began. It served as a guiding document for the newly formed National Assembly, providing a moral and philosophical basis for the ongoing transformation of French society. Significance. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen was revolutionary in several ways. 1. Challenging absolutism. By declaring that sovereignty resides in the nation, the Declaration undermined the divine right of kings and the absolute authority of the monarchy. 2. Universal aspirations. Although initially focused on France, the Declaration had universal ambitions. It proclaimed that human rights were not granted by governments, but were inherent to all individuals by virtue of their humanity. 3. Impact on legal frameworks. The Declaration influenced subsequent legal codes, including the French Constitution of 1791. Its principles have echoed through history, shaping documents like the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948. Criticism and limitations. While the Declaration represented a significant advance in human rights, it was not without flaws and limitations. 1. Exclusion of women. Despite its universal rhetoric, the Declaration applied only to men. Feminists like Olympe de Gouges responded with the Declaration of the Rights of Women and the Female Citizen 1791, highlighting the inconsistency in demanding gender equality. 2. Colonial hypocrisy. The Declaration's promise of liberty and equality was not extended to enslaved people in French colonies. The Haitian Revolution 1791 to 1804 was partly inspired by the Declaration, but exposed the contradiction in France's commitment to universal rights. Class bias. While challenging feudal privileges, the Declaration primarily served the interests of the bourgeoisie. The right to property, for instance, was framed in a way that protected wealthy landowners rather than addressing the plight of the rural poor. Legacy. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen has had a profound and lasting impact on global political thought and practice. 1. Foundation of French Republicanism. The Declaration remains a cornerstone of French political identity. Its principles are enshrined in modern French constitutions, including the current Fifth Republic. 2. Inspiration for global movements. The Declaration influenced revolutionary movements worldwide, from Latin America to Eastern Europe. Its ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity have become universal symbols of democratic aspirations. 3. Modern human rights. The Declaration laid the groundwork for contemporary human rights discourse. It informed the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948, and continues to inspire debates about justice, equality, and freedom. 4. Cultural and philosophical influence. Beyond politics, the Declaration has shaped Western culture and philosophy, reinforcing the belief in the dignity and worth of the individual. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, 1789, stands as a milestone in the history of human rights and democratic governance. Emerging from the tumultuous French Revolution, it encapsulated the Enlightenment's ideals and sought to create a fairer and more equitable society. While it faced criticism and revealed contradictions in its application, its principles have endured, inspiring generations to strive for liberty, equality, and justice. Over 2 centuries later, the Declaration continues to resonate as a testament to humanity's enduring quest for freedom and dignity.